Happy Friday, leaders. Welcome to End of the Week Wind Down, Real Talk with Real Leaders. I'm Dr. Tracy Simone, Queen of Clarity and Care, and your go-to strategist, facilitator, and coach. And today we have a fabulous leader with us to talk about clarity. But before we do that, let's anchor in the Anchor Way. The Anchor Way is a leadership framework designed to help organizations move forward with clarity, connection, cohesion, and courage, even in turbulent waters. Let's take a closer look. Think about an organization like a boat. To move through uncertain waters, it will need to be well-built, well-guided, and well-powered. Every boat is built from something. At the foundation of every organization are three essential materials. Clarity, the shared understanding of where you are headed and why it matters. Connection, the trust, communication, and relationships that keep people interdependent upon one another and committed to the mission. And cohesion, the alignment between your values, your vision, and your daily decisions. This is what the boat itself is made of. Without it, the structure is fragile, no matter how powerful the engine or skilled the crew. Every boat needs a compass. In the Anchor Way, the compass represents your direction, your vision, your mission, and your strategic priorities. It helps you stay oriented even when external conditions shift. Next, the cargo, the actual work you're carrying, your programs, policies, culture, and commitments. The things you're delivering, building, protecting, or transforming. Finally, there's your crew, your people. From the executive team to the frontline leaders, the crew makes the journey possible. They need to be resourced, supported, and aligned to move forward together. Below the surface of every organization is the influence of the current. The external forces like policy shifts, funding pressures, or community needs that shape your course, whether you like it or not. And what propels the boat forward are two internal forces, care and courage. Care is how you lead with humanity. Courage is how you make hard decisions with integrity. Both are necessary to move through resistance and build something real. Every interview in this series is grounded in one or more parts of the Anchor Way because we believe leadership isn't just about vision, it's about structure, systems, and soul. All right, leaders, and we're back, and I'm super excited to introduce to you today Candis. Candis and I had the pleasure of being in a leadership fellowship called Platform Impact, which is an experience like no other where we were able to connect and just become sisters. And one thing I can tell you about Candis is she is crystal clear about who she is, what she wants, and she don't play no games, and she shoots straight from the hip. And so she is the perfect person to talk to us about clarity and leadership today. So Candis, tell the people who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Candis Bowles. I am currently in the role of General Counsel and Chief Operating Officer of an organization called Rising Communities, where we do health equity work. And I've only been there for about a year. Most of my career, I've been an advocate for children with disabilities in particular. I worked at Disability Rights California for about 16 years, but represented children with disabilities for about 20 years. So I recently made a pivot to something different, but really exciting and new. And I have 3 kids and a fantastic partner. And I'm thrilled to be here with Tracy Simone, one of my favorite people from our leadership cohort.
I'm thrilled to be here with you too, Candis. Can't wait to hear what you teach us about clarity. So my first question for you actually is like, what role does clarity play for you as a leader in general?
As a leader, I really feel my responsibility to my team and my coworkers is to either be clear or collectively get to a place of clarity. And that for me really starts with a very solid North Star. You know, I am a person who I can roll with. I'm the chief operating officer. So for me, I feel like a lot of times it's not about my vision. It's about the organization's vision. It's about my CEO's vision. And I have to figure out how to make that happen. But in order to do that, we have to have a North Star that we all recognize as the goal. So our vision may be different, but our North Star, which is typically who are we serving and what do they need, we have to all be in agreement. We have to be really clear about that. And then that helps to get to what the vision will be for how we execute or what we want to pursue from a goal perspective. So that's really my process for getting to clarity is really focusing on first what's my North Star, what's the objective of the team.
The North Star and be clear or get collective clarity. And I love
Mhm.
the idea of like it's a collective effort to create clarity. It doesn't just belong to you, even though you're guiding everybody toward the North Star, you are welcoming in everybody else's information to create that clarity. So for you, what lets you know when like clarity is blurry or your team is misaligned? Like what are the signals that come up for you?
I think when I'm required to be in a lot of meetings,
I get it.
I don't love meetings, but I think that it's important for people to have space to do the work that they need to do. And I think if they're finding that we need to meet frequently, then maybe there's a little confusion about that. Um, but that's really just, my opportunity to rant about my pet peeve. I think a real sign of
We welcome
misalignment,
it. We welcome it.
a real sign of a lack of clarity in the team is when the communication starts to break down, the preparation starts to break down. We're meeting, we're leaving with different understanding of what's going to happen next. Projects are not moving forward. Projects are moving forward in silos, which is a common concern that staff have about silos. I think that that's really also very closely connected to communication. So I think when there's a breakdown in those areas, then the result is we're not making progress in our goals because people are not clear on exactly what they need to do.
hmm Yeah, that communication is key. And it almost sounds like all the meetings are in the vein of trying to communicate, but if you're not communicating clearly in all those meetings and everybody is just still confused and we're just wasting time sitting in the meeting, walking around
Right.
in circles.
Yeah. Well we're talking, but it doesn't move from the meeting, right? So we're in the meeting, we're all talking, we all think we're talking about the same thing, but when we come back together, nothing has happened.
Yeah.
So that to me is a sign that we're not clear. We're not on the same page about what we're supposed to be doing.
So then how do you return to clarity when like it's drifting?
Uh, Returning to clarity, I think, is revisiting um, on a collective level, but also on an individual level. Like, what are we not understanding in the ultimate goal? Um, and sometimes, goals change or people change in what they think the need is.
hmm
And change is really hard for a lot of people. It's hard for people to pivot. We're in a moment where we've all had to really like come back together and figure out how we're doing this what we thought we were doing. We're not, how do we do it differently? How we do it in a really stressful environment. So I think again, I think there's the piece that I try to allow my team some room to create, to take projects in the direction that they are excited about moving the project into that fits within our overall vision. So
hmm
I try to, as much as possible, rather than say, well, here's my vision and this is how we need to do it. I think it's important for people to buy into it. And so obviously we can't all do what we want to do all the time, but I do think you can find pieces that connect, pieces that resonate with members of your team and get them to lean into that part of the project,
hmm
so that we can get back to a place of clarity.
Yeah, you talked a little bit about like chaos and the clarity when things are changing all the time. So, what helps you as a leader stay anchored when like external forces are just causing a lot of chaos and wreaking havoc? Like, how do you stay anchored and clear despite all of that?
I'm a problem solver. I'm more like I would rather focus on what is the opportunity that we have now in this moment. So yes, things have changed, and yes, we could all, spin out and freak out about what we're going to do. But particularly in leadership, I think that my job is to help my team to embrace the change. Sounds really cliche. I won't say we're there. I think that I'm more like, okay, let's reset. Why this is difficult. We didn't anticipate this change. We don't want this change. But what's our North Star? We don't like this situation, but the people we serve are in an even more dire situation. So what do we need to be for them in this moment? So that helps to get out of your own pain and your own fears, but thinking about the people that you are here to serve um, helps move us into, well, what do we have to pivot to now? Because there are people who need us. And they might not need what we were offering yesterday, but they need something new now. So how do we become that? And I think there's an excitement in that. I think there's a feeling of agency
Mhm.
that's important for people to have in their work, and in the moment of uncertainty and fear and crisis, it can make you feel a little more grounded, a little more settled, and that you have some ability to weather what's happening in that moment.
I love those like set shifts, those framings of words you use. Like I see it as an opportunity.
Mhm.
Like let's refocus on our North Star. Like it's exciting to do new things, and not even like let's glaze it over and act like this is perfect and we all love it and yay, yay, yay. But at the same time, we can figure out how we think about it in a way that allows us to continue to serve the people that we are here to serve, regardless of what's going on.
Yes.
I am wondering, as we close up, what is one piece of advice you would give a leader when it comes to being clear or holding clarity with the team?
I think to be clear as a leader, the one thing
You
I
can do
think
more
it's
than one if you need to. Cheat. We're in charge. We can
I
cheat.
think I have worked with leaders who believe clarity means it's my way or the highway, do it this way because I'm clear in my vision. And actually, a lot of those people are very effective. Like they, they do things, they're committed to their vision, right? Which is no matter how hard it is on the people on the team, no matter how impossible it seems, how many people burn out, how many people, get frustrated and aren't going to make it to the end of the project because their vision is so clear, but they're not clear on the execution of it and how challenging it is to get there the way they wanted to. So I guess what I would say is for the visionary leader, the clear-minded leader, um, recognizing that there's holding the vision and seeing the vision, and there's also bringing people along with you, and there's also being open to what they have to contribute to that vision. There are going to be times where you have to shut things down and say, no, we're not doing it that way because, for these reasons. But there may be also ways to do it in a way that might feel like, oh, they're straying from my vision. But I think incorporating what other people have to offer um, can maybe, can is not necessarily not being clear in your vision. So I think that's, you know, if I had to clarity and vision, I think is can be a double-edged sword, but I think when people are not so tied to it that it makes evolving, innovation, making the vision even more enhanced when it prohibits that, then it could be it's not the clarity of vision can be a detriment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Knowing that your people can support you in enhancing the vision you have. I love that. Even heard like holding the vision, holding the people, like they
Mhm.
both go hand in hand, and you can't sacrifice one for the other.
Yes.
Candice, thank you so much for your time and your wisdom. I'm so excited to see your face again and to spend some time with you. And everyone, I am Dr. Tracy Simone, Queen of Clarity and Care, your go-to strategist, facilitator, and coach, helping you get unstuck and get things done. And we'll see you next Friday. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
If this conversation sparks something in you, don't stop here. Watch my free on-demand masterclass, How to Lead Without Losing Yourself. It's 1 hour of clarity, strategy, and truth for leaders navigating growth, change, and complexity. Scan the QR code to start your reset.